wish this was a little taller. Ooh. Hey y'all, my name is Allie. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I am very excited to share something that I do in my planner today. This video is more planner related, more than journaling and art. I'm gonna be sharing about something that I do every week in my planner that has really helped me as a person, as a human being. It's helped me to grow in a couple different areas. I have a little bit of a different setup. I am talking to you here on this camera, and then I also have my top camera here so I can show you in my planner. I first wanted to say, before I go further, I do have a little bit of washi for sale in my shop. It is gonna go until the 10th of September. That is the last day that I'm gonna have in the shop. Even if I have leftover stock, I'm still gonna take it out, the listings off, because I have a crazy September coming up. A lot of people have been asking me for more washi, and I'm not ordering anymore, designing anymore right now, but I did have some stock left over. So if you are interested and want to purchase some, here's one of the designs. Oh, here it is. It's right in front of me. Okay, so here's the Floral Dream. This is kind of like big sister to Floral Sentiments, and the Floral Sentiments are out. There's no more of that one left. I do have like 2 rolls in case something happens in transit with other people. Sorry about the jets, y'all. This one's called Pink and Sketch. It's a really fun pink washi that I think is a great accent washi. It's got some like rake in it. I'm not sure how many rolls of this one are left. And I think I have the bacon washi, which is, I affectionately call it the bacon washi, but it's the rust one that I did to complement the dream. So this is, I called it bacon because everyone's like, it looked like strips of bacon with the art that I did. But I think it looks pretty. I think it looks pretty with the dream washi. So again, that's in my shop. If you want to get on that, if you want to get that information a lot earlier, because it's been out for almost a week now, and I did let everyone know in my newsletter, so I'll have a link to my newsletter below as well if you want to get any product updates, class updates, love notes from me, encouragement from me. I did a freebie art thing, my last newsletter, so I try to give you all free stuff too. So I wanted to talk about how I came to do these reflections in my journal, and I have right here my A6 weekly reflections. I first started them with a coach that I was working with last year. I was in a program, well, I guess she was just my coach. And so we did some functional training on Tuesdays and Thursdays together. She helped me with my nutrition plan. And then she had me do these reflections via an email type situation. Like I would reply to her email with all of these things. And I was like, you know what? This would be really good to have in my planner just so I can see them. I'm always like an analog girl. I love paper and pen. And so I was like, I'm gonna just copy these into my planner. Last year, I put all of them on a page. So I actually had a little tab right here so that I could quickly find them. So like you can see, here's another one. So that's how I did it when I was bullet journaling. And I continued that into my common planner because I really enjoyed it. I think it was really important. I learned a lot about myself. I wanted to also share a quote. It's in my brain binder actually. The jets are making me crazy. Do y'all hear all that? I feel like I can hear it really loud. Like I sweat so bad when I'm in my room because I turn the air off so you don't have to hear that. Okay, this is a quote out of the book I just finished called Unclutter Your Soul. It was amazing. It was one of those books that's up there that I won't get rid of. I'll probably read it again later. But it's by Trina McNeely. I think that's how you say her name. Failure is only failure if you quit. Otherwise, failure is simply data. And data is informational, and such personalized information about ourselves plays a role in our transformation. Even though I see these different categories and there might be a low number on one, I'm not viewing that anymore as failure, but I'm gonna show you kind of how it all relates together because I figured it out. I was like, oh my gosh, there is a relation to these categories, and it was just helpful information for me. It was helpful data for me to know how I can tweak something so that I can grow, because we all need to grow. If we don't grow, we die. So that's how I started documenting these reflections. It's another thing that I have to document, but I don't care, I do it anyway. I document my sleep in my common planner. I document my water intake, which has been really bad lately, and I document my reflections every week, and it's been really helpful. So I'm gonna go over each category and show you what they are. So we're gonna zoom in here. Oops, sorry, just like moved that camera. Here are the categories. We have stress, self-care, exercise, energy, hunger, digestion, sleep quality. And I have weight because this was for my weight program that I was trying to lose some weight and get healthier. Not so much lose weight. I mean, I was gonna lose weight because I was overweight, but I wanna be healthy. And then I have on here my menstrual cycle, and then I have notes for the week. And this is very compressed compared to what I was doing here. And I'm thinking that if I do switch over to a week's size, that I will probably maybe to a whole page for my reflections again, because I think it's important for me to process via pen, journal style, kind of what's going on. And I'm finding that this is not enough space, this little bit right here. Some of these are self-explanatory, just in case anyone is kind of new to this, or even if there's like language barriers or something from someone watching around the world, I want to go over them. So stress is stress. How stressed were you during the week? Self-care. Self-care for one person can be different for another person. For me, sometimes I'm just caring for myself by getting a shower. I don't want to get a shower, but I need a shower. I need to wash my hair or whatever. And so that's caring for myself by getting a shower. For someone else, self-care might be getting a pedicure. So I feel like this self-care spot is like very relative. Hold on, let me get the cat. Oh my gosh. He's so needy and I love it. It can be a relative thing, I think. So self-care for me looks different weekly. So it could be the shower, it could be, you know, me doing my nails, it could be taking a magnesium bath. That's what it was for me like a couple weeks ago. It's like I just like was number 5 on the self-care because I took a bath. I soaked in a bath and had jazz going and a candle and it was amazing. Exercise is just moving your body. I have really been a bit more gentle with myself with this because I've injured myself going crazy. I had a stress fracture in my foot from like walking 5 miles a day, and so I really have to be gentle with myself because it'll flare up if I walk too much. So I've been cycling more and trying to be a little bit more kind to my body, and I'm very thankful every time I can move my body. Energy. Do you have energy? Do you feel fatigued? Are you exhausted? To me, that has a little bit of motivations in there. The hunger category is, did you feel too hungry? Were you feeling too full? And this one kind of confused me when she first had given this to me, because I was like, is 5 like I stuffed myself, or is 5 like I didn't eat enough and I was so hungry all week long? I think you can give yourself whatever that number needs to be from the 1 to 5. You make that for you and then just stick to it. Digestion, super important. Yeah, without getting too TMI, like I had really horrible digestion and I didn't realize how big of a deal that was in my health journey. So this is a big one. And then sleep quality. And these things, again, all relate to each other, and I will share like some of my own numbers, but sleep quality is the quality that you got your sleep, not even just like the amount of time you sleep, because I could get 8 hours, I could be in bed 8 hours, but I might only have 4 hours that I actually got sleep because I had restless legs or I got up to the bathroom a million times or whatever. So the quality of your sleep, that's important for me to reflect on and to make adjustments. Of course, you have your weight, how much you weigh, and then the cycle makes a huge difference on all of these things for women because of our hormones. Like I am literally just now getting on this hormone bandwagon and realizing how much hormones have an effect on my mind and my physical body. I want to go over now the relationship between each category and show you some of my own personal numbers. This is personal, and I might have to blur out some things. So this is back in January. No, sir. My stress was a 5, which I think at that time meant like I wasn't super stressed. Self-care was like almost nothing. Exercise, I was good at exercising, and then the energy was Hunger, I have a note here that I ate way too much and I was overeating, and so that affected my digestion for sure. And then the sleep quality was 4. Now I bet you I tended to be an emotional eater in the past, not so much anymore, but if I was stressed, I would eat. and that would somehow, for the time being, make me not stressed, make me happy. So it is easier for me to see that this is a 5, but then I see hunger. This was like I ate too much. I was stress eating, so that's not good. Moving on in January, I am still trying to get on a good rhythm here. I was pretty stressed out. Horrible self-care. Notice that exercise was a 3. I think for me at the time, exercise was a part of my self-care routine. I didn't think that self-care was really great. And then I think I actually that was so busy, I wasn't even like documenting anything. Digestion was decent. Sleep quality was a 3 to 4. The sleep quality can affect your stress as well. If you're not having good sleep, then you're going to be more stressed out during the day. All right, here's another one. Stress was decent, self-care and exercise decent, energy and sleep quality are 1. I wasn't getting good sleep, so I didn't have any energy for the day. So that was super thing. Also, I was on my cycle. So that's another reason why I could have had some pretty bad sleep and no energy. The hormones are taking a toll on my body, and so it's affecting everything. Most of the time when I actually exercise and move my body, I sleep a lot better that night, which means that I have a little more energy the next day. I'm less stressed. The goal is to try to make it to the 5 as far as not having any stress, being awesome with your self-care, getting your exercise in, making sure your energy's up, not being too hungry and not being overstuffed, your digestion, everything's moving really well, sleeping being well. That's the goal. But again, these numbers are just a reflection. That's why I call them reflections. They're a reflection of what happened in the previous week. Why is this important? It's so that you can look back, and if you start to see patterns, that's the one thing in that book that I love that I was just talking about, is the Unclutter Your Soul, is the first step to overcoming something is observing. This is a way to observe what happened, taking a step back, getting the data and being like, okay, what is going on? And then you can see where are the discrepancies. I also want to point out that you have to be so gracious with yourself, because I contend to be the person that wants all the high marks. Like, I just want to win. I want first place. I want to make sure I'm doing a good job. I can be a hard taskmaster on myself. So I've had to be super gracious with myself when I do have a lower score or a lower number on my reflections, to really see what happened. Maybe I had a really rough week in my marriage. Maybe there was something that was stressful that happened that I could not control. For instance, this week, my parents had to evacuate because of the hurricane, and there was a flood in their neighborhood. And thank God, I know many people did not get this same outcome, but the water literally like kissed the threshold of their door and then receded. So they didn't get flooding in their house. Almost, like by the hair of the chinny chin chin, they almost had their house flooded. And so that was a little stressful for me, because I was just there taking care of my mom, and I'm like, thank God my parents are okay. They were out of the area, thankfully. And that's what I kept being thankful for, is that they were safe. My cat was still in there, but like, I wasn't sure. I didn't know what was going to happen. And so that was a bit stressful. So this week might be a little bit different with my stress number, but I have to be gracious with myself, because that was a stressful situation. That was something I could not control. Like, I can't control the weather. It's just important to be super gracious with yourself and take a very honest account of what happened. And if it's something that you can't control, just okay, start over the next week, try next week. If it's something you can control, then making those tweaks, being responsible for what it is that you can be responsible for. Okay, let's talk about energy category for a second. I had a horrible habit of going to bed super late. Like, I'm talking 1, 2 a.m., waking up at 7, 8, and that's not a lot of time to get sleep. No, sir. Come here, honey. You know, you love mommy. You love mommy. I don't have any energy because I am making a poor choice. And I had to make a choice. Did I want to change? I couldn't blame it on anybody but myself. And so I decided that, you know what? I need a better bedtime routine. And actually, it's funny because that book talked about it too. It talked about bedtime routines. Baby, can you just lay down, please? He's rubbing his smells on everything. It was really hard at first too, because oh shoot, Dietrich. It was really hard at first too, because these are habits that I had formed and have to unlearn, but you can unlearn them. So I just had to use what's called self-discipline and decide that, okay, I'm going to set for myself a time that I need to go to bed. But I also realized that I needed time to wind down. And I know they have like on the watch, they have like it's time to wind down or whatever. And to me, some watch telling me to wind down is not enough. Like I have to put in my planner, okay, I'm gonna put on some jazz music and I'm gonna read a book, get some sleepy time tea to help me go to sleep. I'm gonna journal to get all the thoughts out of my brain so that I can actually feel like I have the freedom to go to sleep and not hang on to something. Basically, that's what I had to do. I had to create a new routine for myself, and it was difficult at first, but now, oh my gosh, I looked forward to it so much. And my husband even, he's like, I so enjoy our new routine of just sitting on the couch, having some tea together and reading. We used to be real big movie people, and I realize now that the stimulation from the movies, because I love movies, and I still watch movies, but we would watch movies like several times a week. That would not help me go to sleep. It's just all of the storyline, the excitement of the movie, the enjoyment of it. It didn't help me go to sleep. Reading relaxes me. Taking responsibility for that data that I had, that, okay, my energy's down. Why? Well, I'm not going to sleep until like 2 a.m. in the morning and waking up early and thinking that that's going to help sustain me through the day. Being gracious with yourself, but also taking accountability for the things that you can change. You can change. I promise you, you can make the changes. That's all I wanted to share with you today. I had some people ask about my reflections, and I just kind of want to go deeper into it. I hope this video was helpful for you and that you might be able to include these reflections in part or the whole. Doesn't matter, whatever works for you. You might even find another category that would be better suited for your life and your rhythm. But I hope it's helpful, and just to like share with you, it is super important to reflect. In order to grow, you have to be able to observe what the plant needs. Does it need water? Does it need more light? Does it need nutrition and fertilizer? So these are great ways to see what you need to grow so that you can make adjustments and do those things. Next week, I'm gonna have a video on how I print my sticker photos for my journal, so stay tuned for that. Again, washi is on sale until the 10th of September, and if you wanna join that newsletter, there's a link below. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I really love sharing with you. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Until next time, bye. Oh, the planes. Ooh, it's hot. Is that a Parker? Say hi. Look at this precious kitty. Deeters. So hot.